They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
In this lab, Will, Matisse, Cam, and I teamed up to create a functioning rover. They call us
the Inquisitors.
Our original idea was the default rover, but we modified it to suit our needs. We used hot glue instead of regular glue for the wheels, and we decorated it a bit using duct tape. See?
As Matisse said before, we first used hot glue to create the wheels. However, this didn't work out because the hot glue made uneven bumps on the wheels. The wheels didn't move easily. We also used a heavy amount of duct tape on the wires in the beginning. We had to change this, though, so we had to have easier access to the wiring. We discovered this when the vehicle stopped working out of nowhere one day. It proved to be very difficult to reach the wiring and figure out what was wrong, so we changed the amount of duct tape that we used.
Our data told us that to make the vehicle run smoothly, we had to use something other than hot glue. So, since we were pressed for time, we decided to use tape. It works well and looks awesome. Also, the vehicle tended not to move straight, so we had to adjust the wheel position and form.
The final design our team created was very similar to original design, except that we used tape instead of any kind of glue for the wheels, add some decorations, a flag with our team name, and license plates. It works fine, exactly how we wanted it. Looks good, right? Yeah, we know.
We learned many things, such as to use precision more often when cutting items, such as wheels. We also gained teamwork skills that will help us in the long run, like learning not to be so bossy and to just go with the flow. If something goes wrong, by staying calm and not freaking out. But each person learned their own individual things as well. I learned that scientists created a rover named Curiosity and had to make lots of improvements to the rover due to Mars's climate and geography. It was interesting to compare how they had their challenges and how we had our challenges. One thing that was comparable was how we had to change the tires. In our scenario, we had to put duct tape around the spinning end of the motor so then the tire would stay on the motor and not fling off. Their issue was that the tires were too heavy for it to move, so they had to change the material to aluminum. My task was to read each article and make a summary of them. I also helped with the trials by recording each time.
At the very start of the project, I learned about some operations that were taken in order to get a rover to Mars. We mainly learned about the rover called Curiosity and how it was the largest rover ever sent to Mars. It took a very long time to make sure everything would go as planned. When we started the actual process of building our rovers, I started learning about wiring, switches, and motors. We used them in a way that they would all work together, and it was very complex, but we got it working.
I was the person who wired the rover the most, so I learned basic wiring mechanics and also how to wire and use a switch. I learned that you should always wire the rover very well the first time, otherwise you'll have to go back and wire it better later, which is what happened to us. Since we were ahead of most teams in the wiring, we decorated our rover with a lot of duct tape and a flag. I learned that the flag gets in the way when you try to flip the rover over to fix wires. I also learned that you should not put much tape over the wires because it took a while to cut the tape. Now we only have one layer of tape, so it's easy to access the wires.
As a photographer, I learned how to take a good shot that shows the details of the image. I also learned to use precision when recording data, such as timing the trials. Along with that, I gained writing skills when working on the script and literature reviews. I also gained some skills to use in the future if I ever wire a motor. I learned to wire, switch, and motors, and I also learned some practical skills, like changing the position of the wheels so they move straight. Along with all of that, I learned teamwork skills like leadership and cooperation, which will definitely help me in the future.
We predicted that our vehicle would move in a straight line. It did, but only after some adjustments. Also, we predicted that our vehicle would go fairly quickly, due to how fast the wheels moved when the rover was lifted up. However, when you place the rover on the table, it moved quite slowly. This is a problem, though. The rover works fine, so we're fine.
This project sure is tiring. Let's switch gears a bit and look at our portfolio. Opening it up, the first thing you see is our literature review. Me and Matisse worked on this mostly, but all the team members contributed. Next we have our data forum. Seems our fastest time was on the wax paper. That's pretty cool. Here we have our daily progress report. 3 pages because we did a lot of stuff. Now we have the lessons learned document. Judging by the name, you would probably think this is the lessons that we learned. It does. And now we have the video script. This is the script that we used for the video that you just watched. Finally, in the back, we have some pictures that I took during our progress during the project. And that's everything. Sincerely, the Inquisitors.